January 10th, 2014. A lot of stuff's going on in the world, preparing the new world order as we speak. A lot of things behind the scenes going on. Number one, constantly new executive orders keep being issued. And some people think with an executive order that once that happens that they immediately go out and enforce it. They do a lot of executive orders for future events. So when it does happen, people are caught off guard. And they ask when it happens, well, I didn't know there was a law for this. And they're going to say, well, we passed that law last year. So there's going to be a lot of this stuff passed constantly hidden from us. They do a lot of it on the weekends, and they do a lot of it on holidays, I noticed. Catch people off guard when they're asleep. So new gun laws, executive orders are passing. A lot of it has to do with mental. I've covered that a couple of times. The mental part of it to me is a big thing because you have the government determining who is mental, or who has mental issues and who don't. And mental could cover a broad range of areas, just as your beliefs, how you pay your bills, how you save, whether you're conservative versus liberal. They don't like what you got to say, well, they might just think you have a mental problem. And it's not just taking away your guns, it's taking away a lot of other things too. Once they deem you to be the enemy, I call it the enemy of the state can take away certain benefits that you normally receive, like your religious freedoms. I know this is where this is going. There's too many Christians being slaughtered around the world right now. And folks, we need to pray for our Christian brothers and sisters because the United States has been spoiled up to now. And we're seeing the beginning stages of what these people seen a few months or years ago to them. But I think every time I think that I've seen it all, I guess I can't say that anymore. When your enemy eats your body parts after they kill you, and they go into a frenzy, fighting over the body parts, you know you're dealing with Satan physically himself and in his army. These poor Christians overseas right now, they don't have much of a chance. They are getting butchered like wild animals and tortured, and the little children, they don't have a chance. If they don't starve to death, they're raped and killed, cut up in pieces, hung, burnt. And these rebels in Syria, I tell you what, I just wish they were over here. I'd like to see some good old Americans take advantage of their right to bear arms and do something with them. I know Christians are supposed to be loving and caring, and I think to show love and to be caring, sometimes you got to take a stand. You just don't sit back and watch. We're not just to sit back and do nothing. King David, he's a great warrior, one of after God's own heart, and he didn't sit back and just watch things. Neither did Moses. Neither did Abraham. Joshua fought more people than you can imagine. The giants. There's people all through the Bible that took stands when nobody else would. I think that's what a Christian's supposed to be. The only thing I wish I could get a message to the people overseas right now that are being slaughtered right and left. They need to take a stand. I don't care if it's a pitchfork or a stick or a rock. You fight your enemy to the death. You're not a second-class citizen to be just tortured and ate on the spot. Um, you know, God sometimes wants us to, He watches to see what we'll do in certain situations. Fear, and if you let fear take you over, you can't do anything. It freezes your body, it freezes your soul. And, so I pray that there's somebody over there that has had enough and will start destroying Satan's army. And they need to be eradicated. Anybody that would kill your enemy and eat him, even the Russians spoke about this to our leaders, saying, why would you back to rebels when they eat their own enemy? I mean, they got a point. Even the Russians are saying this. So, and none of the other countries care. The UN's never going to step in because the UN is part of the Illuminati, part of the New World Order. They don't care. They may say some harsh words here and there and say they don't approve of it, but behind the scenes they don't care. Neither the people of Saudi Arabia, they don't care. None of these people do. That's the same thing that happened to the Jewish people in World War II and throughout history when they were being butchered right and left and enslaved. You didn't see too many nations, an outcry of what was going on with them. Finally, they had to put a stop to it. And unless World War II, that's one of the few times in World War II, and now a side party came in and helped them. Thank God they did, or they would have had more than 6 million slaughtered. This is just part of the agenda for the New World Order and Satan to eradicate God's people, the Christian, and then you don't have to be just Jewish. It's anybody that loves our Lord Jesus Christ, and what's coming, the way the stage is being set for the beast to show his ugly teeth. It first has to be the government's collapsing. It first has to be the financial collapse. This is the currency that you hold in your fingers right now, the American dollar, gold or silver. It's not going to have any bearing on things in the near future because we'll be going to a cashless society. And the only way to buy and sell is if you have the mark. It doesn't say in the Bible if you have gold and silver and precious stones put away. It says you can only buy and sell if you have the mark. Well, I'll starve myself to death before I take this mark. You'd be better off to die in battle, to stand against it, before you take any mark to eat or put shelter over your heads. And Christians, we're all going to have to take a hard look at what's coming. You're going to have to draw a line in the sand of what's coming. Are you going to draw a line in the sand when they say you have to do an RFID chip? Now, granted, that's still not the mark of the beast. Mark of the beast is an allegiance to Satan, but it is a tool that's going to be used for that. Are you going to draw a line in the sand when they say everybody has to be RFID chipped? Are you going to take a stand when they say turn in all currencies and we're going to go to a cashless society? That's your next step right there for the mark of the beast. They got you. People have to take a stand. Are you going to take a stand when they take all your guns away? You're going to sit back and wait for some hero to arise to save you? Or are you going to draw a line in the sand? You have to draw lines. There's a point in anything, business, your personal life, your relationship with our Lord Jesus Christ, then when you have to make a decision whether it's something good or bad for you, or something that glorifies God or glorifies Satan, you have to draw lines in the sand and say, I won't pass